Duterte has committed the crime of murder as the founder, as the head of the so-called Davao death squad, as the mayor of Davao City, and then later as the president of the Philippines between 2011 and 2019.
It's a long haul, it's a long flight. Okay ako, do not worry. And I think this is something to do with the law and order noon. At sinasabi ko naman sa mga polis, military na trabaho kayo at ako ang managot. So ito na nga, for all of the whatever happened in the past, ako na yung front sa ating law enforcement pati military.
Well, the arrest of the former president of the Philippines, Mr. Rodrigo Duterte, is an important moment. The office has been investigating the situation of the Philippines for some time in relation to the so-called war on drugs. Last month, under the supervision of Deputy Prosecutor Manjay Niang, the team submitted a warrant application to the judges of the pre-trial chamber.
It's a request to the Philippine government from Interpol to enforce the arrest warrant. And of course, we comply with our commitments to Interpol. We did not do this because it was derived from or it came from ICC. We did this because Interpol asked us to do it. And we have commitments to them, and we lived up to those commitments. The plane carrying former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte took off at 11:03 p.m. this evening and exited Philippine airspace. The plane is en route to The Hague in the Netherlands, allowing the former president to face charges of crimes against humanity in relation to his bloody war on drugs.
Tapos na? Tara na. Kasi baka malate ako.
We're aware that the Philippines authorities have announced the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte on a warrant that was issued by the International Criminal Court. We have long documented the severe human rights impacts of the so-called war on drugs in the Philippines. In a report that we had put out in 2020, we found credible allegations of widespread and systematic extrajudicial killings in the context of this campaign, as well as arbitrary detention and the near impunity for such violations. It's essential that the next steps with respect to Mr. Duterte are undertaken in full accordance with the law, including applicable international human rights obligations of the Philippines. And we do stress the importance of protecting victims and witnesses and preventing reprisals and retributions of any kind as this important process moves forward. The families of those affected have shown great courage in pursuing justice over many years, and it is crucial that they are protected as this process moves forward.
Well, the arrest of the former president of the Philippines, Mr. Rodrigo Duterte, is an important moment. The office has been investigating the situation of the Philippines for some time in relation to the so-called war on drugs. Last month, under the supervision of Deputy Prosecutor Manjay Niang, the team submitted a warrant application to the judges of the pretrial chamber. The judges have issued that warrant and it's been executed. And in issuing the warrant, the judges have found reasonable grounds to believe that Mr. Duterte has committed the crime of murder as the founder, as the head of the so-called Davao death squad, as the mayor of Davao City, and then later as the president of the Philippines between 2011 and 2019. And I think it's important to show that the office has been working with communities, with states, with international organizations, with other partners to make sure that the investigation could be focused and could move as effectively as possible. And the fact that it's been executed is important to victims. It means a lot, I think, to victims. That's the feedback we've already received. And many say that international law is not as strong as we want, and I agree with that. But as I also repeatedly emphasize, international law is not as weak as some may think. When we come together, when we work, when we build partnerships, the rule of law can prevail. Warrants can be executed. It's important to underline as we now start a new stage of proceedings that Mr. Duterte is presumed innocent. He will make his initial appearance before the court soon. And the focus of the office is on the judicial proceedings, on proving its case before the judges of the International Criminal Court.
Countrymen, just to give you the current situation, I am about to land sa Hague. Galing ako Dubai, stopover for it's a long haul, it's a long flight. Okay ako. Do not worry. And I think this is something to do with the law and order noon. At sinasabi ko naman sa mga polis, military na trabaho kayo at ako ang managot. So ito na nga, for all of the whatever happened in the past, ako na yung nag-front sa ating law enforcement at military. Sinabi ko na I will protect you and ako ang managot sa lahat. This will be a long legal proceedings. But I say to you, I will continue to serve my country at so be it. Kung ganun ang destiny ko. Salamat.